Okay. Tech Talk Live take 3. Let's see how this works. So again, I apologize. Hopefully this works out really well, but I'm Amy Masters, your host of Tech Talk Live. And today's special guest is Allie Baker, who I got to meet at Nail Camp this year in Atlanta a few months back. And she won me over. I loved her personality. I loved the classes that she was doing. And so hopefully if we can get this to connect properly, as it's not been working well today, then I can introduce you guys to her as well. So Allie, it's letting me know that you're here. And I know that we're going to try to connect with your other device, but for some reason, so I might have to try it sideways. It's not allowing it to connect. It's not giving me the add button. If not, see if you can add yourself to the live. Thank you guys for being so patient. Hi, Angelita. Allie, it did, and it's not working. Yes. Okay, fingers crossed. Maybe? Maybe? Okay, Allie, so I did hit the approve and all of that, but for some reason I don't see that it's allowing a connect. You guys just gotta love some days, huh? I can tell you though, we're almost at 100 Tech Talks and we've only had 3 that maybe, kind of foul up and give us a little trouble. So ride with me. We always make it work out. I don't know why it's not working. Hi, Rochelle. Hi, Stephanie. Aww. Well, I promise you that if for some reason this doesn't work out, I will still go live and we'll just change it into a live Q&A. We'll do a pop-up live like what I used to do. Hi, Miss Barbara. All right, maybe that one worked. I just tried it again, Allie. Yay! Yes. I can hear you.
Are we working now?
Yes. Thanks for being so patient and thanks for stealing your grandson's phone.
Yeah. Well, I sold my iPad back from him, so.
Oh my goodness. Well, for those of you who have not had the pleasure of meeting Allie Baker yet, today's special guest is Allie Baker. And as you can tell from behind her, multi-award winning, very talented nail artist, and I cannot wait to share your story. I too haven't heard your whole complete story, but as I said before, I got to meet you at nail camp this year, and I'd already known who you were, through stalking you through social media and all of that, but meeting you in person just won me over even more. You're just so kind, and I loved your teaching style. I love the workshops and the little trolls that you did, and I can tell you that if I ever am around another workshop where you're teaching that again, I would and I will take that class. It was so fun, and it was an all-day workshop. So anyways, so Michelle's on here and she says Facebook just sucks tonight, and also Instagram issues. So hopefully we're connected and everything will go good from here. And so we're thankful for that, and thank you for your time this evening. Yes.
Well, hopefully the sound's okay. It's a little weird on my end, so.
Yeah, it's good so far. So anyways, Allie, welcome to Tech Talk Worldwide. And
Thank you.
And what I always like to do is go way back to when you first started in the nail industry. What was your inspiration to become a nail tech?
Well, this is not the path I originally wanted. Um, I originally, because I had Jarrett young, kind of changed my path. So I originally wanted to get into law enforcement and eventually like work for the FBI or the DEA. But then I ended up blessed with pregnancy at an early age and decided to that probably wasn't the right path for me. So I worked in the mall at a couple of random jobs and hated it and thought I'd always kind of been into nails and played through middle school and high school and thought I'd go to beauty school and give it a shot and started as going like full phase doing the whole gamut of everything and really hated beauty school, thought it was like junior high, so I dropped everything but nails and just stuck with that.
Oh my goodness. My story was similar. I went and became an EMT. And so
Yeah.
it's interesting that, our career, whether we want to be a doctor or a lawyer or whatever, that the little, I don't know, it's a meme and it shows like doctor, dentist, whatever, and it's these little ballerina girls and it shows nail tech and she's upside down swinging on the bar rather than being on. Every time I think about some of the career choices that we want to do and we choose nail tech, we get to have the fun. And so, yeah. So at some point in time, though, after you got licensed, did you work in a salon for a while? Did you just go dive all the way into the competition side?
Well, no, I worked in a salon. So this was back 20, a little over 20 years ago. I think Jarrett was about 6 months old when I started school. So maybe, no, he was older than that. I think it was a year and a half. Anyways, so I started school, did that, I got my license in June of 97. So I'm going on 22 years now as a nail tech. So I worked in the salon. Actually, my very first competition, back up a little bit, was while I was a student. And I competed at a show called the Best of the West nail show in Reno, Nevada. Just to give it a shot and get some honest feedback because I didn't feel like I was getting that at school. Every time I did a set of nails, it was like, oh yeah, it looks good, and they'd sign the sheet, even though I knew that they didn't, and there was probably a million things I could do to improve. And so I was really disappointed with the beauty school situation. So I went there and I competed as a professional instead of a student, and I placed dead last. But I also was competing against Tom Holcomb was there and competing in that, and so I was way in over my head. But my goal wasn't to win. My goal was to just get some feedback from the judges and figure out what I needed to do better. Because I don't ever do like tip overlay stuff. My passion is sculpting, and so that was the professional competition was sculpting, and so I just jumped into it. So and I got some great feedback, and it helped a lot. So there were a few people there that weren't so, wasn't very good constructive criticism. They were actually kind of rude. But for the most part, everybody else was very nice and, gave me some good places to go and what to work on. So that was my very first competition. And then once I got licensed, I competed a little bit here and there. Just there weren't a lot of competitions. And so I do some of the smaller ones that were close to home. So it wasn't really until about 6 or 7 years ago, I've been an educator with Easy Flow for going on 17 years now, I think. So it wasn't until they kind of pushed me back into competing. I'd just done some sporadically, and then Easy Flow kind of gave it a big kick and said, we want you to compete, and we're going to put together a competition and see what you guys do. So that was great. It was a lot of work, and it was crazy few years, but it was well worth it. So I loved every minute of it, but it was exhausting.
Yeah, it is. And it's a mental thing. It pulls you away from doing salon nails to a totally different type of nail. And so, having that team together and learn from each other is a lot. And you're right, the intimidation it's almost like when you walk into a competition and you see, Amy Becker and Tom Holcomb, and you see all of them there, you almost just want to put your head down and go, well, don't got this one. But you know what? That's not always true. Do you know how many times as Barbara says, fell forward. I'm like, do you know how many times you fell forward on stuff like that? And you realize that that was your spotlight, that was your time to shine. And so I'm sure people look at the same thing. They're like, oh gosh, Allie Baker's here. I don't even have a chance. And you know, we're not on
Well,
our
I
game.
hope not, because I mean, I'm completely beatable. I've always been like, I've never had that feeling like I'm the best one there is, because I know I'm not, and I know there's always a million things I can still do to improve. And I take, I sit in on classes, and like at nail camp, I'm teaching a lot, but I still like to, if I get a chance to kind of go, just kind of like poke around and look and see if I can pick up any little thing here and there that I can use myself too. So I'm constantly learning as well. So,
Yeah.
Everybody, nobody's the best there ever. Well, I take that back. Maybe some people. There are a few exceptions to that, I think. But I mean, for me, like I don't feel like nobody can beat. I mean, I know, yeah, I get beat all the time. And people would beat me in competition, and then I'd come back, and I'd get discouraged. There were a couple people that I never placed ahead of, and it was one time I lost first place because of a 5-point deduction because my model was wearing her watch. And it knocked me down out of first place. And I found that out later. And knowing that technically I had won just kind of pushed me to know that I could do it. There's always somebody that you think is unbeatable. But people, I know there's people out there that can beat me hands down. It's the way it is.
But you know what? Each time we go, I agree with you. The judges' sheets are powerful. And when you get the right judge that can give you the constructive criticism and actually sit down with you and say, this is how I would correct it, that is, to me, one of the most priceless things that we can get in our industry. And whether you're competing or not, just the honest feedback from somebody that's, willing to share with you how to fix it. Not just dock you the points and say, there you go, but like teach you how. Yeah.
Right.
So at some point in time, do you ever see yourself getting into the judging side?
Well, I've been judging this year with NAILPRO. So I've done some judging. I judged in Sacramento. I judged in Long Beach, in Pasadena. And then I'm going to be judging again in Sacramento. So yeah. I've been kind of on all sides of the curtain. So I was a competitor, and then I spent a year like kind of coaching the Easy Flow team and the IBD team, and then I filled in as a model when they needed me to. So, and that job is hell, by the way. Being the competition model really kind of sucks. And then I got to where I'm now helping and doing some judging too. So kind of all sides of it. So it's a lot of fun. I like the judging side too. A lot better than the modeling side.
And being from the other side of the table where you've been able to, do the competitions and stuff as a judge, did that help set you up so that you could be the type of judge that you wish that you had? Or, did it kind of help you, or did it kind of hinder it where you're like, oh, I wish I would have never competed?
No, I mean, it definitely helps because it helps me to understand the rules and what we're looking for, but then it also helps to kind of maybe point out things because I've recently competed that maybe sometimes it might help in other ways too, as somebody that's recently competed to kind of point out that, hey, scheduling wise, this could work better, or, whether they want my opinion or not, I don't know, but I try to help out when I can with stuff.
Well, and just knowing you, I know that your constructive criticism really would be, the polite way of doing it. I don't see you having a mean moan in your body at all.
Usually I try.
So one of the classes that you taught recently that I got to, kind of walk around a little bit. I know Katie Barnes and I were just kind of walking around looking at each booth at Nail Camp, and we could not get away from your creation. You started, your creations were these little trolls made out of acrylic, and I was thinking when they're, you guys, the creativity and the one of the classes, even the herbal troll riding on a swan. They are so cute. And it really is a completion that she was able to teach in what, a 5 to 8 hour time frame. I love him. And so these are mixed media. This isn't something you're going to use on a client, obviously, if they do, wow. But
Yeah.
this is something that can really stretch your knowledge on working with the different products. I don't know, the the way you taught it as well as starting off as we were calling it the peanut, starting it out from there all the way out was amazing, and that you could create that um, in just that short a time frame. And so people that are doing the mixed media and all the big fantasy nail art, we know that the time that goes into each of it, but you really did break it down to be achievable in a great time frame.
Yeah, we were able to get one of these little guys done in the class, or pretty close to done. I mean, there's always more details and elements you could add later. Um, I mean, on a set of like fantasy nails, I've probably spent hundreds of hours on each when you break it all down, a lot more than 8 hours a nail. But they were fun. I tried doing mermaids in a camp class like that once, and mermaids were a lot harder because everybody's trying to make them a lot bigger, and you want them to be all dainty, and that's harder. So Katie, that I work with here, Katie Lindsay, she actually helped me come up with the idea of trolls, because we thought I didn't want to do just trees and flowers, and I didn't want to teach the animals, and so I wanted to do something a little more humanistic, but fun. And I figured trolls are perfect because if you don't get them perfect, they're still cute. Like, trolls are supposed to be kind of ugly. Like, they're so ugly, they're cute. So if one eye's bigger than the other, then it's okay. But you're still getting the concept of how to make it. And then once you get the concept of how to make an ugly little guy, then you can take those pieces and make it into like a pretty mermaid or a little fairy or whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Just giving them the basic building blocks in a different scale, I guess.
If you need to get that call,
No, I don't. We can just ignore that phone ringing.
Yeah. And so, one of the things,
oh, stop. There we go.
One of the things though that happens when you play with 3D art like that, or the 5D or whatever you want to call that, is that you learn ratios, and you learn that different color powders also make a difference on set time.
Oh yeah.
Your liquid and your monomer, some of them that you might want a quicker set, you might want, a quicker set monomer versus a slow set monomer. So I think it's important to be able to pull your products out every now and then and just play like that. One, you might not realize that you might come out with the cutest little troll or mermaid, but product control. And so do you see that helps when people take your class?
Oh my gosh, it totally helps with product control when we do stuff like that, because trying to go from picking up a little tiny bead to make a tiny little eyeball, or a little tiny piece to make a tiny little finger, like on this guy, like all the little the little buttons, like he's completely acrylic except for his hair, and his eyes I actually overlaid with gel to make him shiny, but everything on him is acrylic down to the rocks. So like just learning how to double dip powders and dry them out before you place them down, and how to use different tools to kind of carve into them and make different shapes. Like this was one of the ones I did beforehand as like a little display so people could actually see what we were doing in class. And then while I was making this one, Katie, that works here in the salon with me, was making this little guy. So we had a troll making day because she couldn't go to camp in Atlanta. She was like, no, I want to make a troll. So we did them here. So, and I am doing again at Nail Camp West in Boynton.
Oh, wonderful. I told Jessica I wouldn't be able to be the keynote speaker, and I cried afterwards. I'm so hoping to attend, but I just found out I'm going to be at the Philadelphia show, which is just a couple weeks before then. So I'm trying to figure out how I can make all of this work out. Yeah. I want every single show. I love my family. But I wish there was a group of us that could just all travel, go to every single show. But it
It
would
gets
be
crazy. There's a lot of stuff sometimes, and certain times of the year just get insane.
yes, we need to get it organized where it starts on one side of the United States and the world, and then
Right,
slowly
kind of
moves through
travels.
the states over,
Right.
rather than from New York to California back to Atlanta, you know.
Yeah.
So Barbara says that you are such an amazing talent and a humble soul. Thank you for being you, Allie.
Well, thank you.
Cassie says, hey. So Lisa says, this lady, one of the best in the industry. You're kind, professional. You're quite the mentor and educator. And Lisa, and I can agree with you. I got to sit in a little bit during Allie's class, and you're right, kind and professional, and very just laid back. You're not one of those teachers that's just like, you're not applying that right. Like, no, just go with it. And, you know, let's try it this way, and made suggestions. And it was one of the things that kept me at in the week.
Well, everybody learns in different ways. And so to have me sitting there like barking at them, like, nope, that's not right, do it again. No, that's not right, do it again. I mean, that doesn't really help anybody. So, I mean, I've been in classes where the educator's been kind of like that and really harsh and brass and like very, this is the only way to do it. And not, that way doesn't always work for everybody. So if, you know, you kind of watch what they're doing and help them figure out a better way to do it that maybe works for them, not everybody's going to be able to master it the way I do it, you know, or sometimes it's just in the way you explain it. Like there's things like I'll explain something to Jarrett one way, my son, who sits next to me, he's right there. But, like, there he is, right there. So, you know, I'll explain something to him, and it doesn't make any sense to him, but like somebody else can explain it to him kind of the same way, but just a little tiny bit different, and he gets it. And so, I mean, that could just be because I'm his mom, so you know, I don't know what I'm talking about, but which I think is part of it sometimes. But that happens with other people too. Like everybody learns different ways, and so I don't like being really like super formal. I like to be me. I don't like to stand up there and be very robotic. You know, I sometimes have a mouth like a sailor. Sometimes it happens. Nail camp is the only place I really let that happen in a camp because it's so laid back there. But you know, it's just I don't know. I want people to get to know me as well, not just me. This is what we're.
Yeah. I think it's one of the things that helps set you apart in the education is that you are a salon tech. You know, you've been where we are. You've been in the industry for many years, like the rest of us. And so therefore, you know, the ups and downs have been there, and we've been able to work through that. And now you just enjoy it. And so what's next for you? What's your goal? What do you want to do?
Ooh, well, I don't know. And like I've watched, so being with Easy Flow for as long as I have, like I've watched the industry change so much to where like years ago, like all the nail companies, and this is kind of across the board, like all the nail companies were at all the shows, and there was tons of stuff going on that the companies were promoting and the companies were doing. And anymore, it's not really that way. I mean, I still love Easy Flow. And I do both. I teach for both of them. I use all their products every day in the salons. But still, I mean, I'm not planning on like leaving that. But I want to start doing a little more independent stuff as well. I'm really bad about the whole social media thing. Like I'm working on that. I need to like. I get people ask me all the time, you need to do some videos and this and that. I'm terrible, but I promise I'm going to work on it. I'm going to try really hard to work on that and do some little videos and more like social media presence because I know that that's the big thing right now. And I need to get off my butt and just do it. But
Well, Allie, I can help you. We'll talk after this is all over. I can absolutely help you come up.
I'm terrible with social media. Like I look at it all the time and they'll be like, ooh, we've been really good about taking pictures in here. I even got a little photo box. We could take pictures of clients' nails and post them on social media and all this stuff. And then nobody does it. And like we take a picture, it never leaves our phone, it never hits social media. I'm like, wow. So I'm terrible.
You know
terrible.
what? That's real. That's just like all of us. You know, the ones that I do find are, and I'm jealous of, are the ones that have the time to sit there and with their camera take a nice professional photo. You know, they
Oh
add
yeah.
the watermark, they do all of that. If you see any of mine, I don't edit anything. I don't edit any of these tech talks. I don't edit any of my
Oh,
pictures.
I know. I don't
It's
have the
all
time.
real.
I barely have time to sit there and talk my way through anything. But like, so that was part of the thing is we don't always have time to do the watermark thing. So we just made this to take pictures on. So we put their hand next to this, so it says it right there. So then I don't have to go back in and watermark anything. But we still don't do it.
Hey, we're still old school. That still works. That's very much.
It's
I
so
can tell
crazy.
you, and if you guys watch on Wednesday, I'm going live again with Catherine Fleming with Nails Magazine. And Catherine gave us a tip last year when she came on Tech Talk that sometimes these watermarks and everything that are putting on make the picture unusable. And so and if you do have a picture that has a watermark, your intention of your watermark is that for somebody else not to use it. But
Right.
if you're wanting magazines to use it, bloggers to use it, and Pinterest to use it, you've actually prevented your picture from getting used even further because sometimes the watermarks cover up too much. So,
Right.
so remember um, what your purpose is with these watermarks. Sometimes I think they're getting a little bit too far on there.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and here's the thing, like if I do a set of nails and Sally down the road who just got out of school tries to claim that that picture of those nails was mine, and the client goes in and or was hers, and she goes in and doesn't know what she's doing and can't duplicate it, they're gonna know that it wasn't her that did it. So, I mean, the watermark thing to me, like I get people like don't want people to steal it and use it as their own, but on the other side of it, like you know it's your work. People that know you know it's your work, and I don't know, it's just a lot of stuff that
Yeah.
a lot of drama that is kind of unnecessary, really.
Yeah. So actually Tiffany's on here as well, and Tiffany was with at Nail Camp with us as well. She's gonna come on and be a guest on Tech Talk as well.
I need to have a little talk with her too about this whole social media thing because we talked about that at Nail Camp and we just haven't had time to get together and do it. She said she'd help me too. So hey
Yeah.
Tiffany, we still need to talk.
You know, and that's one of the things that I love about these nail groups that we have is that we can network together. And so, you know, if you're an educator and you want to, you know, like you said, you want to go independent, and I've been independent for a while and been able to do some online workshops. I love sharing that. And the same thing with nail techs that have been in the industry for a long time. And then there's a brand new nail tech in a group and they're like, oh my gosh, I have all this side lifting. Man, and we can help each other along the way. And these connections that we make are real. I love it. I love the idea that we can do that. And Tiffany says, Allie, you can call her anytime.
All right. As soon as I slow down a minute, I will call you.
You know, speaking of all of that, how do you schedule? I mean, so I thought the child that we saw earlier was your son, and you're like, no, that's my grandson.
Yes,
So, I mean,
that's my
obviously
grandson.
your family's all there. How do you schedule and juggle family and the travel and the salon and education and all of that?
It gets a little crazy. Usually spring and fall are the busiest. So I do some have more events for like Easy Flow in the spring and fall. Um, and then summers I get a little more time to myself, but then I have a full clientele as well. So that makes it a little harder. Being able to work with Jarrett every day, you know, that's kind of nice. So I get to see at least one of my kids on a regular basis. And then Jack spends a lot of time here too at the salon. After he gets out of his like preschool and stuff and comes and hangs out because his mom actually works here as well. So I'm doing lashes and waxing. So yeah, that part is good. See my other son periodically too. He pops in. So I mean we're close. We all live in this area, but we just try to balance it as best we can. Sometimes it's hard and I don't see people very often, but we try to do the best we can. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So am I understanding that your son is he a tech in your salon? Your son is?
Huh?
Was that your son that was standing there? Is he a tech?
Yes.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
So
My son, I've been
he
begging. He would
started.
be a pharmacist apparently, but he doesn't want to be a tech.
No, Jared, well, when he was about, I worked out of my house. And so he would come home from school and get into my stuff and drive me crazy. So I started teaching him how to do little things, and then it just kind of went from there. Come here, say hi. There. Say hi. Hi.
How are you?
That's five.
Yeah. So you get to hang out with Grandma. Do you get to answer the phone and all of that?
Huh?
Oh, I was asking him if he gets to like
Oh.
answer the phone and do some work.
No, he does have his own little locker space over there, and he's got his little carpet in the back. And he usually comes here's my iPad on my phone to play games. He helps take out the trash. Sometimes he vacuums.
I love it.
He helps out a little. But no, Jarrett started kind of messing with all my stuff when he was around 10 years old. And then I kept saying, you should let me start training you now. By the time you can get your license, you'll be kicking ass. And he's like, no, I'm not kicking nails. I'm gonna play football. I'm like, well, what about a plan B in case you blow your knee out? Oh, that's really nice, Mom. Well, anyways, time goes by and he's in high school and he starts thinking about it and got a lot of flack from other kids, and even his school principal made some comments about how you can't be living and support a family doing nails. You should rethink your career choice. So she got a really nice phone call from me. Probably wasn't one of the nicer phone calls I ever made, but so basically I told her she didn't know what she was talking about, and she should never discourage a child from doing what they want to do unless it's just being a bum and living on the street, maybe discourage that, but it doesn't matter. I mean, even if they want to become the manager of McDonald's someday, to some person that may not seem like a big deal, but I know people that I went to school with that are now managing fast food restaurants and doing really well for themselves, and there's nothing wrong with that. So the fact that she's very discouraging really kind of ticked me off. So it wasn't a good phone call. But anyways, he was able to do his apprenticeship at school at the salon. And when I was competing a lot, I actually used him as a model for Fantasy Nailer a couple of times. And so he saw that side of it and kind of thought about it again. He kind of went back and forth for a few years. So right after graduation, he was at a point where he was working in a warehouse and doing shipping stuff, and was kind of like, this kind of sucks, blah, blah, blah. I mean, I like it, but it sucks at the same time. And so we were at this competition, and he started soaking people's nails off and giving my models in between competitions so I could reuse them. And he was my model, and then he's like, I'm thinking about doing nails again. So I didn't really let him waste any time. We came home and we got him signed up, and he went to school and graduated, and he's been licensed for 3.5 years now. So he competed with us as well. So his very first competition, he was still a student. He entered Soak Off Gel in Vegas. There were 24 people in that competition. He made the top 10, and I did not. So it was, I got beat by my own kid. So see, everybody's beatable.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
He beat me, and everybody asked, well, how did that make you feel? And I'm like, well, on one side, really kind of pissed because I wanted to kick his butt. And on the other side, super proud mom moment right there. So, because he's still in school and he's going up against 24 people that have been like this for years. And in that field was really pretty cool. So
oh my
God.
God.
Actually, 1 year, I think it was 2017, he came in second place right behind me? In the Nailpro Cup standings. So we went 1 and 2 for the Nailpro Cup that year, which was super cool. So
Allie, that's wonderful. We should have him come on Tech Talk Live as a special guest and talk and say
he hear that, Jared? You should come on Tech Talk Live as a special guest. He's not a very big talker. I don't know that he'll be good at that.
Oh, I'll do all the talking.
He's always sitting there going, "Shut up, Mom! Don't say anymore."
Oh, I love it.
We can hold a conversation, but he really likes the clients that don't talk his ear off too bad or want him to talk back.
Yeah. It's amazing that I've interviewed, Greg. I've interviewed, so Greg Salo, Max Estrada, John Hogg, Jesse Bruner. I've interviewed a lot of male, nail artists, and I always ask them, what inspired you to want to be in it? And it's amazing that some of them have compared that. First of all, they always think And now your son might be different because he grew up with you as a mom in the industry.
Right.
But you think that they make like $30 or $40 an hour, which is more than what they would make in the oil field. So therefore, they're like, hey, I got an inside job. I got to be around women, like
Yeah.
beautiful women. I got to touch them. I got to make $40 an hour. And it's interesting that one, they learn that they don't make $30 and $40 an hour.
Right.
But when they compare it to the laborious jobs that they can compare it to, and to being a nail tech, if they can get over the pride part of it, men are so successful in our industry.
Oh yeah.
Super successful. Yeah. And women want to go be pampered by them.
Hmm. We've actually only had one time in the salon since he's been here where we've had a woman that was like, nope, I'm not doing it. Not comfortable having a man do my nails. And it was like, well, that's your loss. So he was the only one that had availability the time she was asking for. Like I gave her multiple times, or she gave me multiple times that she wanted an appointment. And the only person that had times available was Jarrett, and she absolutely flat refused. No, I'm just not comfortable having a man do my nails. Like, all
Wow.
right, well,
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Well,
so.
that's our loss. Sounds like he's a pretty amazing tech, whether it's in the competition or in the salon, and obviously a great support group. You know, one of the things that you've mentioned a few times is the team. And years and years ago, so I've been licensed for 27 years. When I very first started in the competition arena, I had no clue about a team. And I realized it took me really quickly when you go to a competition and all of a sudden you see all these people stand up and high five and they're working together and they're all wearing the same shirts and there's this team aspect and I realized I needed a team to be able to be truly successful, and it's rang true every time I've talked with somebody that has really really competed and made it up there, is it took them finding a team. And it doesn't have to be a competition team, but even the support of the family, the support of the other people in the salon, an education team. And so what kind of advice do you have for people that want to, compete and want to get in that arena, but yet they're from an area like I am and there's not a lot of education teams around?
Well, I mean, when I got into it, I was a one-man team when I first started. And you get to know everybody else that's in the competition ring. And really, like, nobody else on that competition floor, especially with the Nailpro competitions, and Nail as well, every time that I competed with them, nobody there is, every, I guess everybody there is kind of, we're all kind of team players. You become like you have your competition family. So like we always helped each other out. Somebody would show up and they'd run out of forms or they didn't have the right thing and somebody else had an extra. So it was like, does anybody have an extra red polish? And somebody that, I mean, you may not have ever met before loans you your stuff. Or it happened in Bling one time. Somebody that didn't have like metal studs, it had to be rhinestones. And so somebody gave her the extra stuff that she had so she could use that. I mean, so whether you're there with, your own support team or not, I mean, everybody on that competition floor, like it may be intimidating at first, but once say hi, and we all would kind of help each other. Even the people that you think would be the ones that are going to be like, against each other, and it's this person against this person, like we all helped each other out whenever we could. There wasn't anybody out there that I think was trying to sabotage anybody else. So it started off that way, and I got to know a lot of people that way. And then when we decided to put together like a team, an actual like competition team, and I told the people that were interested that were all like educators. But so it definitely makes a big difference when you have that support group because it does take a lot of time and a lot of sleepless nights and a lot of behind the scenes stuff that people don't see. So like you're out there competing, but then as soon as you're done competing, you're getting ready for the next one. Your model for that one's getting judged, and as soon as that person's done getting judged, her nails have to come off so that you can use her again in the next one. And it's like it's crazy. So having extra people around that know how to remove nails safely, so your model doesn't end up damaged. There's all these little things that go into play. So it's a huge working conglomeration. And so once I had more of those people with me to help out, it made things so much nicer and more fun.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
just you got to kind of just jump in, and whether you have an actual team or not, you just have to jump in and make the best of it. And, you know, people along the way. That's how I started out my first couple of years. Was just kind of meeting the people there and finding my way through it all.
Yeah, so true. You know, another bit of advice I would add to that is a lot of times people you know your products. You've specialized into, like in your case, easy flow. And so if you use easy flow and you're like, man, I want to compete, contact easy flow and say, I use your products and I would really like to learn how to compete. And one, do you have educators you can link me up with to, you know, maybe do some one-to-one training with them or whatever? Or is there a chance that I can, you know, work with some of your traveling team or whatever it is, what show you're going to be at, that maybe I could take an extra class? And so there's lots of ways that you can join into that, but sometimes it's you reaching out to the company and telling them what you would like to do. And it's amazing how many times they'll send you free product, or they'll get you in touch with, hey, this is, you know, Allie's the one to get in touch with for this. She's our educator of educators. And, you know, and you can be a part of their team in many ways. One, you can become an ambassador, you can become an educator with the team, or you can just stay independent and, you know, compete using their product. So it's just, you just gotta go for it. You just gotta try it.
Yeah, it's scary, but yeah, you just have to jump in, or like Jared just commented when I was on that big spiel was, or you just get forced. He kind of did. he did kind of get forced into it. So, and Nikki did too. So for my first year, I competed just on my own. Second year, I pulled Nikki in, who is one of my coworkers that I've worked with for 12 years. And so I pulled her my minion for a long time. She was like a neural sidekick. And I actually originally started training her to take over my clientele when I was going to move out of the area, and then decided not to do that. We've worked together ever since. And so Nikki and I were competing for a little bit, and then we needed a third person for a certain event in Vegas. Jared had started school, which technically made him legal to compete under their parameters. So I'm like, hey, you're going to be our third person for relay. And he's like, what? So that's when he decided to do soak off gel on his own and then beat me. So yeah, it was a good day. So yeah, so he got kind of forced in. Nikki got forced in. I kind of did the same thing with her with Perfect Match. I figured she would be a good one for me to use because we worked together. We could practice together. You know, I'd already trained her, you know, that kind of thing. So yeah, when I said, well, I'll use Nikki, she was like, you're gonna what to me? You're gonna make me do what? Because she was petrified to compete. And I got her to do it. And over the years, like I saw her like really improve in a lot of different ways in nails. And so I mean, even if you're not in it to win it, you know, it's such a learning experience with competition. Like, you learn something every time, like what not to do. Like, don't try to use black builder gel for a salon success competition when you've never touched it before. That was a bad day. But yeah, so I mean, you learn things. Competition is not the time to wing it very often. Sometimes it works out, but most of the time it does not.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, I've watched a lot of people through competitions really grow at just fun. Became really, really close with Amanda Leonard, and she became a part of our team. And she was an amazing person and an amazing tech, and just watching her grow through competitions and become part of our little family was really amazing. And we miss her so much every day. Watching her transformation through competition was just incredible. So all of the people I've worked with, competition wise, and members of my team, it's been so much fun to watch them grow and get better and watch them progress through different things. It's been a lot of fun. So,
Yeah. And as you said, sometimes it takes somebody pushing us a little bit, you know, and I've heard lots of people say, you know what, Amy, I just got a message the other day. She was like, okay, so I'm listening to you. I finally decided to submit in my, I forget it. I think it was the Face Off Challenge for Nails Magazine or something. And she messaged me behind the scenes and she goes, I did it. Thank you for like pushing me to do it. And I thought, wow, you know, you don't realize the impact that you have on somebody. And then once they do it, and then the wanting the desire to want to beat that again, to do that again, and then it becomes their own desires. But sometimes it does take somebody else to push us out of that comfort zone. But we do it with love and a kind push. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
One.
I had a big push when I started too, because they wanted me to do it. And well, I got approached by Easy Flow too. I'm like, I haven't done this in like 7 years. Like, really? You'll do fine. You'll do fine. And she kept pushing and pushing. She got her way. And then, then I started doing it. And I'm like, okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So now, then, like the first year I didn't do it, I was like, dude, this sucks. Like, I really miss it. But, I was still there. So I was still kind of coaching the teams and pushing them along. But, so
Yeah.
now, like, part of me still misses it. But then part of me is like, oh, it's so much more relaxed.
Yeah. Yeah, there is a lot of stress
So
that comes.
I think everybody at one point or another needs that little extra shove to
Yeah.
show fun. I mean, some just need shoved a little harder than others.
Yeah. Well, you're a good person to shove us, so thanks for inspiring us to be better and teaching us the steps how to do it. I have to see your nails though. Every now and then I see this flash of a lime green come across.
Oh, so there's this color called Glow Green. All of our nail polishes are we number them and then have them on little fan displays. And so this is 317. It's the color that Jared tries to push on everybody. So I have very neon-y kind of. So I have these are I don't know what the name of it is. This is 315. That's what we call it. And 317 and 319 maybe. I don't know. They all have white chrome, but that's what they are. Yeah.
That is so fun and so cute. Yeah, I keep seeing this lime green kind of go across. I'm like, oh, I
Yeah.
have to see those. Yeah.
It's on the index finger, so I use it a lot.
Well, Allie, I know that you're busy, and I can't thank you enough for taking an hour of your time to come spend with us and
You're
to share
welcome.
your story. You're very inspiring. I love your skunk, and you're real, and you're a real salon tech. You're, a real educator. You're just real on every aspect of it.
Yeah, I'm a salon tech every day. So this is the salon.
Oh my goodness. How many techs do you have in your studio?
So there's 4.
Hmm.
So I think I saw a question somebody asked about the awards behind me. So these are mine and Jared's and Katie's and Nikki's collectively behind.
Oh my goodness. Look at how, and the big ones. Yeah.
Hi.
And then those
Those are my
cups,
favorite.
that's valuable. Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, there's 4 nail techs. And
So, Allie, if somebody wanted to do some one-to-one training with you, would you be open to that? Like if they came to your studio, do you do one-to-ones or do you offer them online yet?
yeah,
And if not, I can help you.
I've talked about it a few times with people. So yeah, I'm totally a couple times, just kind of little impromptu ones, but no, like one-on-one trainings. I thought about doing like actual because I've got the space here to actually hold the class here and do like an actual like class. The problem is a lot of times in my area you can't get people to do it, like the nail tech do it. So
Yeah.
um, I'm trying to figure out exactly what I want to do. So right now. Still doing a lot for Easy Flow, of course, and IBD as well. Then I'm going to start doing a little more on my own as well. So I'm going to tie them all together. Do
Oh,
some like more brand classes on my own. So.
yeah, that's exciting. So in the comments, we'll make sure that we add in where you're going to be for the rest of the year, that maybe people can take some of your classes, like you're going to be at Nail Camp West.
I'm going to be at Nail Camp West for sure. I'm waiting on figuring out if I'm going to be supposed to be there. I want to be there, but I be out of the country. So I'm just waiting for confirmation on that. I'm hoping I can. I'm like,
Yeah.
so I know I've got a couple of international things coming up, and then I've got. Sure, that's my. I think is the Nail Camp West. It's been one on my calendar as far as that goes. Not a lot of stuff, so I'll post whatever I have.
Sounds good. And then that way, if people, so you guys know that through the comments, you guys can either private message Allie directly and try to get some of that, or we'll post the comments where it'll be easy to link on. I know it kind of cut out a little bit when you were talking, so we'll get all of that posted into the comments as well. But Allie, you are amazing. And as the very first comment that was on there, very humble. And it's one of the things that make us look up to you. And I just want to say thank you for being the inspiration for us in the industry, even a long timer like me. You just really, it was great to meet you in person. And I appreciated the little bit of time that we got to spend together. So I know that we'll get to see each other again soon. But
yeah, it was great getting to meet you too, finally, after like seeing you on Facebook all these years. And then we finally, it's so weird how that happened.
I know, I always compare it to like online
oh
dating.
my gosh.
Yes, exactly.
You're a real person.
So thank you, Allie, and to your family for helping set the standards in the nail industry. And for the rest of you that are watching, we're going to have 2 Tech Talks this week on Wednesday morning. I'll have Catherine Fleming on again. We're going to promote the Foot Forward Summit that's coming up, sponsored by Nails Magazine, and other ways for you to get published in Nails Magazine and everything else that they have coming up, all the little competitions that they do that you know that I'm always pushing you to do, as it sounds like Allie can teach you how to do it. I'll push you. Anyways, thank you guys so much for supporting Tech Talk Worldwide. So we're almost at 100 Tech Talks. So they almost all of them are uploaded on the YouTube channel, which you guys know if you've been following me, I've been pushing it really hard lately because I wanted that 1,000 subscribers. We were so close. And you know, that competition side where you just want to hit that magic number, we hit it. And so thank you so much for doing that, because there are some tutorials on there, but the rest of them are all Tech Talk Lives. Free educate you one talk at a time. And so thank you for supporting Tech Talk Live and Tech Talk Worldwide and being active in our nail groups and sharing what I call our nerdy nail knowledge. So thank you, Allie, for sharing your time today as well.
Thanks for having me.
All right, you guys have a great day.